Just waiting to start here. Hi, and welcome to Sunday School. How do you? I thought I'd wear a tie today. Tiny bubbles in the wine make me happy, make me feel fine. Yeah. Tiny bubbles make me warm all over with the feeling that I'm gonna love you till the end of time. And speaking of the end of time, that brings. Oh, I should have worn my yes. Yes, got to try it with a hat. And here's to the golden moon, and here's to the silvery sea, and mostly here's a toast to you and me. Well, I should have quit while I was ahead. Anyway, yeah. Let's talk about the end of time here for a second. If you're keeping up with events here in Sacramento in our house, which I'm sure you're all just following, we're kind of now deep into the Enochian Aethers at Monday Night Magic class, and we're on the 20th one here tomorrow, and we're really enjoying it because we're following along on Crowley's exploits. And when Crowley went through the Aethers way back when he was marching across the Sahara, just shortly after, just a few years after he received the book, The Law. So he was still undergoing initiations himself. So Crowley's experience as he's going through the Aethers are really focused on, or we have to view them through the lens of his own personal great initiatory experience. And in Crowley's particular case, it was all tied up to the changing of the aeon itself, because he had a little job to do as a commentator on the as the prophet of the new aeon that was right there in its nativity. And so we finally get to this point in the 20th Aether, where, let's see in the synopsis here, if we would project all of this on a tree of life, it would be right there, okay, going from Netzach to Hesed. And that's the path of the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Now the Enochian Aethers aren't easily compared apples to apples with the Tree of Life. But if we were to try to project the different Aethers on the paths and Sephiroth of the Tree of Life, this is sort of a kind of a good guess at where they would be. So anyway, we're right here, and as the vision reveals, that's kind of the Wheel of Fortune thing, and when you and I scry the Aether, it would be that same general theme, but relating to us personally. So we can't really, you know, completely identify with Crowley's vision. But anyway, uh, it's the path of Kaf, Atu number 10. Okay, right here. Okay. Uh, the Hieros prepares the candidate. Now, those are Golden Dawn officers. The Hieros is sort of the Horus character. If there's a good cop and a bad cop, in the dynamics of your initiation, the good cop would be the hegemon, who's like your holy guardian angel and your guide, and the Hieros it's his job to oppose you and get on your case. Okay. The vision of the Wheel of Fortune, the three energies of the universe. Now, I would suppose and assume that even in our scrying of this aether, we would be dealing in our own strange personal way with those three energies of the universe. And you can call that salt, sulfur, and mercury. You can, okay. A guide is given to the seer, his holy guardian angel. And this is attained by mastery of the universe concealed as conceived as a wheel. Mastery of the universe as conceived as a wheel. The Hieros in the ceremony of Master of the Temple. Now, Master of the Temple is this really big abyss crossing thing here. Everything else is preparatory to this. He gets his holy guardian angel kind of right there, or at least he's introduced right there, number 6. But all of this is preparatory for the ultimate abyss crossing at Master of the Temple, the assumption of the degree of Magus, and then finally Ipsissimus. Okay. Are you following this? It's Sunday school. I'm going to read just a little bit of Crowley's vision here. The cry of the 20th Aether, which is called Kyr. Now remember, he's marching across the North African Sahara with his scribe and good buddy, Victor Newberg, who's taking all of this down. Crowley has recited the call, Madriax dies praf, Kyr. Kis Mikael, Senior Kaos God, Fifis Vils Isratiada, to get him into that state of consciousness. Then he holds in his hand a painted wooden cross with a large, I believe it's yellow topaz, and he's holding it against his forehead like a scrying stone. The dew that was upon the face of the stone is gone, and it has become like a pool of clear golden water. And now the light is come into the rosy cross. Yet all that I see is the night with the stars therein, as though they appear through a telescope. And there cometh a peacock into the stone, filling the whole air, and it's like the vision of the universal peacock, or rather like a representation of that vision. Now, at the very first of all of these, usually the very first paragraphs of them, is him trying to break into the aether. So, in other words, he's trying to move from one level of consciousness to another. And he's already gone from 30 to 29 to 28 to 27. So, in a sense, each the previous aether is a stepping stone into this one, and the opening vision is just kind of the what he has to do to rip the veil of the level that he's at to get to that next higher frequency. And so there's always these transition visions. And now there are countless clouds of white angels filling the air as the peacock dissolves. Now, behind the angels are archangels with trumpets. These cause all things to appear at once, so that there is a tremendous confusion of images. And now I perceive that all these things are but veils of the wheel. For they all gather themselves into a wheel that spins with incredible velocity. It hath many colors, but all thrilled with white light so that they are transparent and luminous. That word thrilled is interesting. It's a fencing term or a sword fighting term. When you run somebody through, you thrill them with your sword. So thrill, that's that thing you feel in the pit of your stomach. This one wheel is 49 wheels. Remember, everything in Enochian up to this is 49 by 49 by 49, 7 by 7, okay? This one wheel is 49 wheels set at different angles so that they compose a sphere. Can you picture that? Okay. Each wheel has 49 spokes and has 49 concentric tires at equal distances from the center. And wherever the rays from any two wheels meet, there's a blinding flash of glory. It must be understood, though, so much detail is visible in the wheel, yet at the same time, the impression is of a single, simple object. It seems this wheel is being spun by a hand. Do you see the hand at the bottom of the wheel on the rim? Now the Hebrew letter kaf there is a hand or a fist or a clenched hand. And here's Lady Harris's. Now there's more. There's 10 spokes in her wheel, but you can sort of see what she's, and look at the pinwheel-like rays coming out of it and everything else. And behind it is a triangle. You see that triangle behind it? And there is a hub, and that hub is stationary. And that's the center, the single center, centrum in trigono centri. The center and the center of 3. And there's 3 characters, okay? And they're sort of the classic ones. Okay, you got a sphinx on one side and Hermanubis, the ape, there, and Typhon, the crocodile, there, okay? Now, I've got 12 spokes with 30 degrees in each thing. But anyway, let's go back to the Crowley's thing. Okay. It seems this wheel is being spun by a hand, though the wheel fills the whole air. Yet the hand is much bigger than the wheel. And though this vision is so great and splendid, yet there is no seriousness with it or solemnity. It seems like the hand is spinning the wheel merely for pleasure. It would be better to say amusement. Okay. I get a kick out of this one. A voice comes. Now remember, on the tree of life, there's calf right there. It's the Jupiter path. Okay. And there's number 4. It leads from Venus here to the Jupiter Sephira, Hesed. So Jupiter's a big thing here, okay? And a voice comes, for he is a jocund and ruddy god. It's so Jovian. And his laughter is the vibration of all that exists. And the earthquakes of the soul. One is conscious of the whirling of the wheel, thrilling one, like an electric discharge passing through one. Now I see the figures on the wheel, which have been interpreted as a sordid sphinx, Hermanubis, and Typhon. And that is wrong, at least in this vision. That's wrong. It's important that you think that's what they are. But in this particular case, at this particular frequency of consciousness, that's wrong. The rim of the wheel is a vivid emerald snake. In the center of the wheel is a scarlet heart. And impossible to explain as it is, the scarlet of the heart and the green of the snake are yet more vivid than the blinding white brilliance of the wheel. The figures on the wheel are darker than the wheel itself. In fact, they are stains upon the purity of the wheel. And for that reason, and because of the whirling of the wheel, I cannot see them. But at the top, now at the top where usually is that sphinx, at the top seems to be a lamb and flag. Okay. Instead of the sphinx with the sword, in this vision, he's seeing that Agnus Dei, the Lamb of God. A lamb and flag, such as one sees on some Christian medals. And one of the lower things is a wolf, and the other a raven. The lamb and flag symbol is much brighter than the other two. It keeps growing brighter until now it is brighter than the wheel itself and occupies more space than it did. It speaks. I am the greatest of the deceivers, for my purity and innocence shall seduce the pure and innocent, who but for me should come to the center of the wheel. Now, the center of the wheel is where you want to be, because it's immovable, around which that's what your meditations are leading to. You don't want to be. You're already trapped on that wheel going in the three aspects before, beginning, after. But that lamb, symbol of Christianity, and the Christian formula. And the fact that in Crowley's mind, in Crowley's experience, and his background and makeup, as being raised and traumatized by the vengeful, wrathful Jesus of the equivalent of evangelical Christians, which is folks were centering, not on the so much on the Lamb of God, but the Lamb of God as violent, okay, and so in Crowley's mind, that symbol of the Lamb is talking as a spiritual character whose time has passed and doesn't want to let go, okay? Or at least that's the way I'm looking at it. You just look at it any way you want. Okay. The lamb and flag symbol is much brighter than the other two. It keeps growing brighter until now it's brighter than the wheel itself and occupies more space than it did, okay? And it says, I am the greatest of the deceivers, for my purity and innocence shall seduce the pure and innocent. Who but for me should come to the center of the wheel? The wolf betrayeth only the greedy and the treacherous. The raven berateth only the melancholy and dishonest. But I am he of whom it is written, he shall deceive the very elect. You can see how Crowley is so heavily influenced by the Bible, and especially the apocalyptic book of John. The Lamb continues, for in the beginning the Father of all called forth lying spirits, that they may sift the creatures of the earth in 3 sieves, according to the 3 impure souls. And he chose the wolf for the lust of the flesh, and the raven for the lust of the mind. But me did he choose above all to simulate the pure promptings of the soul. Them that are fallen a prey to the wolf and raven I have not scathed, but them that have rejected me I have given over to the wrath of the raven and the wolf. And the jaws of the one have torn them, and the beak of the other has devoured the corpse. Therefore is my flag white, because I have left nothing upon the earth alive. I have feasted myself on the blood of the saints, but I am not suspected of men to be their enemy. For my fleece is white and warm, and my teeth are not the teeth of one that teareth flesh, and mine eyes are mild, and they know me not, the chief of lying spirits, that the Father of all sent forth from before his face in the beginning. Okay. It goes on. It gets even better. Attributes them to the alchemical dynamics of salt, sulfur, and mercury. It is quite an education. This is the 20th Aether, Kier, of the Enochian Vision and the Voice. Anyway, now that when the Wheel of Fortune comes up in a tarot reading, depending on its, you go, hey, you're going to get lucky. Well, it means that too, or Or oh, you may not be getting lucky, but it's a whole lot more than that. And what Frida Harris is trying to get across, she was very well aware of this vision. And there's that hand. And there's Typhon, Hermanubis, and the Sphinx. Anyway, that's it for today. Oh, do you want me to sing another song? Oh, look at the time. I guess I won't. I know. You want another one, but no. That's it for today. That's Sunday school is dismissed. Until tomorrow, for the order of Monday morning, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.